How I feel? Relax. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rockin' it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she clap her hands, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about fans turning on number 17 Terry McLaurin, and took it as far as even saying he's not a top 25 wide receiver in the NFL. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Also, go subscribe to my second channel, High Off Words. On that channel, you will see my podcast that will eventually come out and other in real life content. The brand is High Off Words, so go ahead and subscribe. That link is down below in the description. Now with that out of the way, let's get straight to it. I want to first start by talking about yesterday's video. I appreciate everybody that watched yesterday's video, and I appreciate the feedback and comments. A lot of them were coming at me as if they were saying along the lines of, Juan, you're soft, you know, these players getting paid millions of dollars and they shouldn't be complaining. And I felt like y'all didn't understand what I was saying in the video, which is totally fine. I'm going to break it down to you. I don't think players shouldn't be coached hard. All on board with you guys when it comes to that standpoint. What I was saying was players tend to tune out what you have to say if the message goes stale or if you're not winning anything. And you're like, Juan, well, the results are up to the players on the field. Yeah, to a certain extent, you're correct. They're the ones that have to execute. But if the plays and the scheme isn't put in for you to succeed, how do you expect to be, to get results that you want? You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I like making videos like that, because we have a healthy discussion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you guys didn't agree, which is totally fine. That's why I made that video. But I just wanted to come on here to, kind of clear it up. Like, nah, I agree with y'all when I'm saying players deserve to get coached hard. But look at a guy like Ron Rivera and look at Terry McLaurin. A lot of y'all say Terry looked checked out. Why? Because Ron Rivera's message just went stale, right? He continues to say we're getting better, we're developing, and it's the same results. You know what I'm saying? It's 4 years later, and he's still saying we're learning. That's a prime example of message gone still, right? Players like Terry McLaurin, who you're even questioning Terry's worth ethic, and you never had to do that here. Why? Because the coach they're over the coach. That's all I was saying. But now with that out the way, let's go get to today's video. Speaking of Terry McLaurin, we're going to talk about 1-7. Terry McLaurin is obviously having a down year, okay? We're so accustomed to Terry lighting it up, you know what I'm saying? Would have been well on his way to 1,000 yards by now. But as we can clearly see, the production for Terry McLaurin has dropped drastically. And a lot of that is just due to, again, I'm going to put it back on coaching. Terry McLaurin has had some receptions where it's like, come on, Terry, you got to catch that, i.e., the game last week versus the Cowboys, or was it the week before that versus Seattle? I think it was the one versus the Cowboys. He ran a quick little drag, good ball, and he dropped it, right? So there are instances where Terry McLaurin, should make these catches, and he didn't. And the Stephon Gilmore one, you can say that was pass interference if you want, but, we used to Terry making those climb up the ladder catches, right, and top shelf catches, and he hasn't really been doing that this year. But on top of that, Terry is not really getting targeted that much. Like, we talked all offseason long about how this was going to be a breakout year for Terry McLaurin. At least I thought so. The way Sam Howell spoke about him, you would have thought that they would have had a good connection, but they really just aren't in sync with each other, and they don't have a good connection. It's almost as if Sam Howell doesn't trust Terry McLaurin, or he doesn't really look his way, because Terry is like not involved in his offense. And this is the same issue that I had with Scott Turner. Is like, how can you go a whole game without your best player touching the ball? Terry McLaurin has put up 1,000-yard seasons since entering the league. And in 2019, he would have put up 1,000 yards if he didn't sustain a concussion. And that's with Dwayne Haskins. That's with Case Keenum at quarterback. This man has had a buttload of quarterbacks, bro. Let's not forget. And he's still producing. So for the players, or for the, I should say, fans rather, that have turned their back on Terry McLaurin, like, come on, man, that's insane. Like, hey, is he the best receiver in the NFL? No. But to go on record to say he's not top 25, that's kind of pretty bad. And I've seen some other people that says Terry McLaurin isn't good. Like, I don't know what you guys are watching, but to come up with that conclusion, I just can't get down with that. This man has put his heart, his soul. He was one of the few guys that we did not have to question about his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? We did not have to question about playing hard. Could the turf toe be affecting him? It could be. You know, turf toe is something that really doesn't heal until you're off of it for months at a time. And remember, he sustained that turf toe injury versus the Baltimore Ravens. And at the time, we didn't think it was a red flag because he was out there practicing, but we don't know Terry. We're not Terry himself, so we don't know if he's dealing with some pain or not. But Terry, he is having a decreased year. And then also another thing that we have to look at it, guys. Just because Terry's having a down year doesn't make him a bad player, bro. We got to understand, these other players on the other side of the ball get paid just like Terry McLaurin, bro. Like, sometimes I think us as fans, we have a hard time at just giving other people credit. Like, these cornerbacks get paid to stop guys like Terry McLaurin, and when they have a good rep versus Terry McLaurin, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the Deontay Bankses of the world that ain't do nothing, that just pisses me off, and like trying to talk trash about Terry McLaurin because you ain't do nothing and you're talking trash. That's how you know it's bad, when you got young pups that ain't do nothing talking trash about Terry McLaurin. Terry is not involved in his offense enough, and I'm putting that solely on the shoulders of Eric Bieniemy. If I knew it was gonna be like this with Eric Bieniemy, I would have kept Scott Turner, because at least Scott Turner would have found a way to get Terry McLaurin 1,000 yards. Like, Terry is just, it just seems like the same issue that we had with him. It just seems like they just use him as if he's just a third option. Patrick Mahomes would kill to have a receiving core like Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dawson, and Curtis Samuel. I'm almost to the point where it's just like, I just feel bad for Terry, man. And I kind of felt like that for years, but I just thought it would have been different. Now that we have a quarterback and we have a supposedly good offensive coordinator, you couldn't have told me that it was going to be worse. Like, it didn't boggle in my mind that it was going to be worse when the situation was better. I mean, he was way better with Taylor Heineke, with Carson Wentz, with Kyle Allen and Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins. And these are quarterbacks not only did he go through, but these are quarterbacks he's had to deal with multiple per year. Garrett Gilbert, like, it's crazy. My man is only at 60 receptions and 694 yards. Now, he may still get 1,000 yards, but I highly doubt it. I feel like this time last year, he was probably around 800 yards by now last season, but this year he's just around 600 and or 700, and it'll be different if it was a guy that was featured, right? But Terry McLaurin isn't featured in this offense, so he's probably only going to get like 5 receptions max a game, and that's horrible. That's horrible, because you look around the league, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, they both get 10 of 10 receptions, or 10 targets a game, I should say. Terry's only getting 5-4. Like, and there's some games where Byron Pringle is getting more targets than him, or Logan Thomas. That's the thing that just boggles my mind, is them post routes that you have De'Ami Brown running. Why can't Terry McLaurin run those? You know what I'm saying? Them corner routes, why isn't Terry running those? Why is it just we're treating a Pro Bowl wide receiver like he's just whatever? We can find another Terry McLaurin. You know, that's the thing that blows my mind, is this: they're acting like this isn't a 1,000-yard receiver for the last 4 years of his career. That pisses me off to no end. Terry McLaurin, I'm gonna read you guys his targets this season per game. Terry McLaurin has had 2, 5, 6, 8, 4, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 5, and 4. Those are receptions, I should say. And his targets read 4, 6, 6, 10, 5, 11, 9, 12, 8, 8, 7, and 11. So, and mind you, some of these games where his targets are high or whatever you would say are towards end of games where we're either getting blown out, you know what I'm saying, or it's a game that's extended into overtime. So I feel like those numbers for me are a little too inconsistent for a guy of Terry McLaurin's caliber. So if we can get it on an even path of like just 8, like just give me 8 targets minimum a game, I would be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But 4, 6, 6, 5, 7, I just can't get down with that. There's not enough opportunities for my best wide receiver, and to keep in spectrum of how poor of a season he's having, Terry McLaurin does not even have over one 100-yard game. The closest he's came to an 100-yard game was the game versus the Giants where we lost 7-14. Other than that, Terry McLaurin has not came close to 100 yards. Well, actually, yeah, he hasn't came close to 100 yards or eclipsed 100 yards. So it's been a pretty down year for him. And I'm not going to put it all on his shoulders. Like, yeah, obviously, he'll tell you himself. There are some catches that he would like to have back that he should have made. But for the most part, again, with the same issue of Scott Turner, it's his offensive coordinator not putting him in the position to be successful. That's just where I think about it, and that's where I watch each and every week, just like you all. He goes out there and he's non-existent, and we're like, where's Terry? And we just automatically think he's getting gloved by the other corner. Nah, the man just doesn't get any plays drawn up for him, or our quarterback doesn't even look his way. You know what I'm saying? Sam Howell loves Logan Thomas, and I get it. Quarterback best friends, obviously tight end. He loves him some Jahan Dotson, which is good, but Jahan Dotson ain't Terry McLaurin, So that's just my take on it. What says you out there? Do you feel like Terry McLaurin is not a top 25 receiver anymore? Do you feel like Terry McLaurin is not a number 1 receiver? Like, these are the craziest things that I'm hearing with some of these fans out here. How do you feel about Terry McLaurin with him having this down year all of a sudden? Leave it down below in the comment section. I'm going to read each and every one of you guys' comment. Love each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for supporting. See y'all later. Peace.